So if you're looking to join the British Army, and specific the infantry, so all branches of the infantry, whether it's parachute regiment, foot guards, line infantry, or indeed nowadays the RAC, I know they're not infantry, but the Royal Armoured Corps, everything that does their basic training up within Catterick itself. Also, if you're a veteran, this is going to be a good video for you as well, because a lot has changed within the infantry initial training. That's what today's video is going to be all about. Let's get amongst it. The main things I'm going to go into detail about is how you're going to be selected and pushed into a unit or a regiment, into a regiment. So up in Vimy Barracks, that's where basic training now happens. And who does basic training there now? So the RAC, so Royal Armoured Corps, the line infantry. So the line infantry has a lot of different roles and regiments within the corpus of the line infantry. The parachute regiment, and the foot guards. The Gurkhas, not going to discuss in this because there's a whole different sort of process starting all the way back, halfway across the world. So I'm just going to focus in on these ones first. So now everyone goes to Vimy Barracks, I'm going to say, which was 1ITB, to start to do their basic training, and they all train together. So that's all the recruits train together there, as well as all the officers and instructors who are instructing them. They're all sort of intermingled now. Where historically it would have been line infantry up there only, and then down below you would have had your Gurkhas, paras and guards, who are all instructing their own sort of people throughout the whole 20 odd weeks course. So now we're over up here now, and we've cross-pollinated all our instructors and all our people. In week 3 then, you're going to get a brief about your cap badges. Now this is kind of like the same as what happens in Sandhurst, but they do it around week 5, and it's called Expressive of Interest Evening, and all the different cap badges across the army will come down on an evening and set up all their stands, and it's their chance to sell themselves to the officer cadets, and they walk around and decide an informed decision on what they want to do with their commission, and they have to make 2 choices. It's pretty brutal, and when I'm looking at this process now, I can probably see the officers have done it since the dawn of time. When they arrive in here, the anxiety of trying, where am I going to end up? And it kind of looks like us soldiers now are going to take a bit of that pain now, because it never used to be like this, but now looks like you're going to have a little bit of that as well. Maybe not as much as what the officers have, because it's very cutthroat for them, but for you, there are bigger masses, more jobs and PIDs available, so potentially not going to be as competitive to what an officer is going to experience in Sandhurst. So that's your sort of, then that gets your sort of grey matter going, right, what do I want to do? You may have went to the Soldier Academy with something in your mind, and then you've heard a brief, or you've seen something on that week 3, and you decide, I actually think I might do this instead. So that's your chance to do that there. Week 4 then, you're going to do some AT in Halton. So AT is adventure training. So that is kind of like, think of stuff out of green army uniform, and it's going to be like, hill walking, but in civvies. Mountain biking, rock climbing, cave, and just all that kind of stuff to try and put you out of your comfort zone, but out of military uniform. Some of it does work, like caving, flip me, yeah, Roger. If you're comfortable within a tight cave, then you're going to be comfortable within a firefight, because it's honking. So it's all about conquering your fears in a different way. That's what adventure training is all about. Right, week 5 then, you're going to have loads of lessons and stuff. Continue on with your lessons. This is going to be a same theme throughout your basic training. It's going to be pretty full on for them first couple of weeks, and to get you sort of into the sort of way of things. And it's going to be your first ranges. So you're going to fire live ammunition, it looks like, the first time. It's going to be in static ranges, so you're not going to be running around firing live ammunition. Certainly in the infantry you will do that at some stage, not at this stage. And then it's also your last chance to swap from guards to line, for example, here. So there must be some part of training in here. Sorry, that's week 9. So in week 9, it looks like it's going to be your last chance then to make up your mind on where you want to commit yourself to. And then in week 10, guards and line do separate EPPs, where they'll put in their preferences down. Gotcha. So parachute regiment, all that kind of stuff, you're locked in now at this stage if they're going to take you on, and I believe they will look at you as well to make sure you're going to be fit enough to actually get through P Company, because that's something else you need to pass to actually get into the parachute regiment. But week 10, people who are staying foot guards and people who are staying in the line infantry, that's when you'll do your EPPs. That's your electronic post and preference performa. Basically, it's a piece of paper. It's not a piece of paper anymore. It's electronic. It's a way where you say, right, where do I want to go within the foot guards? So clearly, the foot guards have different regiments like Irish Guards, Scots Guards, Coldstream Guards, Grenadier Guards, all that kind of stuff. The line infantry also has all the other different regiments that I mentioned at the very start of this video. So that's now where you're going to say this. You're going to type this kind of stuff in and express where you're going to go to. Now, for veterans who are still at this stage of the video, this is the interesting part. So now your first preference is going to be on the division. I'm just looking down to make sure I get this right. So you're going to pick a division first, and then once you've picked a division, you're then going to pick, it's going to give you the option for where do you want to be located within the UK or wherever else. So your location you prefer to be in. And then after you've picked your location, it's going to be the role. So the role being, I'm going to line infantry for an example, would be light role. So just on your feet, no special equipment, no vehicles and all that kind of stuff, or very minimum vehicles. Light recce strike, which is Royal Irish. So that's a whole different video on what that sort of role is within 16 Brigade. You've got armoured. What else you got? Light protective mobility, and all there's other bits and pieces that the infantry has to offer. So there is no point there where you're writing down what regiment you would like to go to. So it's the division, the location, and the role. No regiment there whatsoever. And then clearly whatever you pick out of them three will pop out at the bottom, the little sort of algorithm, what regiment obviously serves all them things, and then that's where you're going to end up. Very interesting indeed. If you've like no experience of the army, you don't care where you go, then happy days. Get amongst that sort of that process now, and then just experience it first time. Go to training, wait till week 3 when everyone comes around and does their sort of show and tell, like this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what they do, all the rest of it, and then get amongst that, and then let your decision be informed by that process. If you're someone who does understand a little bit about the British Army, or may have had friends, family, whatever it may be in there, and you do know what regiments serve what and do what, my advice to you then is, I will give you an example now. I'm going to use the Royal Irish as an example, clearly because that's my home turf. I'm not saying for you to go to Royal Irish, and I have said this in multiple videos, go to where you want to go, because if you get to the place where you want to go, not before someone's trying to pull you into it, then you'll have the best experience ever, because you've made your own decision to go there, and it just will not seem like a job, it will just be a class lifestyle, okay? Using the Royal Irish as an example. I want to join the Royal Irish. What do? I go on the internet, we've got the flipping ability now, and find out where the Royal Irish are based, what division they're in, and what role that they do. This is if I'm just solely Royal Irish. And then I know all that information, so as soon as I come to that week, whatever it is where I'm putting the expressive interest in, not the expressive interest, the EPPP, I would then know that I need to put down the Union Division. And then my next bit is so the division. And I know the next thing I need to put is location, and that's the Midlands, because that's where the Royal Irish are. And then for my last one, I'm going to be picking light recce strike, because I know the Royal Irish, because I've done all my research before I've arrived to the Soldier Academy, and I know the Royal Irish they're in the Union Division. They're based in Turnhill, Shropshire, which is the Midlands, and they do light recce strike. So you put all them 3 in, and then put a little bit in your little comments box. But them 3 selected should then tell whatever algorithm they use that the Royal Irish is the one that serves them 3. This soldier goes there. And then you should get your green light and get amongst it. I cannot remember off the top of my head who does what roles. Let's think of who do I know infantry wise with roles off the top of my head. Roles change so many different times. Scots. Let's go Scots for an example. Let's say I can be wrong here, so make sure you do your research after this. So I'm just using a different unit so I'm not biased to the Royal Irish. Let's say you're up in Scotland. Your Royal Regiment of Scotland is what you want. They have different battalions. So depending whereabouts you want to live in Scotland, this may inform where you want to be, as in what battalion you want to do. So next, let's use 2 Scots for an example who are in Edinburgh. So once again, they are within the Union Division, so you will pick the Union Division. For your location, you would write Edinburgh. I'm not sure what actually it comes up as location, but somewhere where it's close to Edinburgh, you'll do that. And then role. I think they're light role. I could be wrong. Make sure you do the research. They're either light mechanized, or they're with the foxhounds, or they're light role. I am not sure. So make sure you do research on that. Them 3. and then in a little box, right, I want to go 2 Scots. Them 3 choices once again will tell the algorithm this soldier has to go to 2 Scots because 2 Scots is the one that serves all them 3 answers they've just provided. I hope that makes sense. I apologise that I've used the Scots and the Royal Irish because they are my division, Union Division. It's the ones I know most about. So you just need to do the research and find out what regiment you want to do, what division they belong in, where they are in the world, and what role they are. Work out them before you arrive, put them down in this process, and then you'll be good to go. Happy? Hopefully I got it sort of there. So veterans, there you go. That's the way it is now. It looks very marine-y. So like Royal Marines, where they would do like drafting, that kind of stuff. It looks similar to this now and very Americanized. But hey ho, time flows, we move on, and that's just the way it is. So I apologise if you come on to this video wanting a really detailed layout of what you're going to be doing day to day in basic training. I truly believe you don't need that. Just commit yourself and get over it. The reason why I've brought this video out is it's very specific to how you're going to get into your regiment, because I get a lot of questions about it and it has changed significantly. I have heard rumours of it, and that's the whole reason why I've reached up to people up in the Soldier Academy to get this sort of best information I can in specific to how you're going to land into your regiment. Okay, cool. So if I've got any of that wrong and you are watching this from any of these kind of places, please jump in the emails, DMs, whatever it may be, in the video description of this video. That's where you can get all the sort of contact details to get in touch with me, and then I can sort of rectify it, because I don't want to put any sort of wrong stuff out there. But I believe I've got it right by going over a broad brushed method. Now, please don't flap if you're like, I want to go into a certain regiment. Do them things I told you to do, as in do your research. The ball is in your court. I do truly believe you can get to where you need to be as long as you apply yourself and now do a little bit of work before you arrive, as in research, and you should be fine. Thank you so much for joining for this video. YouTube is saying that you want to watch this video next, so I highly suggest you click on that, and that will give you a good deal of what you're wanting to see. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you again on the next video. See you then.